Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel Under the Moon with Teale. Today we're going to be talking about a topic that is near and dear to my heart, and that is connecting back to the elements. So this is often, I feel like, not really talked about or understood, and so I wanted to break it down a little bit further on how we can connect to the elements to help bring balance into our lives. So at the end of the day, has everyone noticed that, the world's a little crazy right now. People are a little bit going bonkers. In general, there's a lot going on energetically on the planet. And I find it hilarious also that like one of the top insults these days is like, just go touch grass, because like we actually like all should just go touch grass. And it's about coming home to the earth and reconnecting back to the earth element. And it's something that we've lost. And notice it's like the less time you spend in nature, the more unhappiness that you often have, or the more you feel disconnected to yourself or disconnected to your physical body. It's super simple. At the end of the day, if the only thing you take away from this is just go outside, that's a beautiful thing. It will change your life. The more we connect back to the outside world, connect into nature, it's life-changing because it humbles us, but it also like connects us to the earth and connects us back to our physical body. It connects us back to our surroundings and makes us like remember why we're here and the point of all of this and the purpose and the joy and experiencing like the beautiful, everything beautiful that life has to offer. And this is often lost when we spend most of our time inside, indoors, behind a computer, behind a screen, and like we forget to just look at how beautiful a tree is or connect to literally the grass. Look at a beautiful flower. When was the last time you smelled a flower? Let's just take a moment to pause and ask yourself, when was the last time you literally took the 1 to 3 seconds to smell a flower? Like this is what this episode is all about, is go up, smell a flower, but reconnect back to nature. And of course, like the element to do this is earth, right? So I'm going to briefly talk about the four main elements and how to reconnect back into them and what it may show up like in your system if those elements are out of balance. So we have, of course, earth, fire, water, and wind or air. And so let's start with earth. So the earth is here to hold us, to ground us, to make us feel supported. So if you feel imbalanced with the earth element within your system, this can look like feeling really ungrounded, being flighty. It also can look like not feeling safe within the body or not having like a physical connection to your body. Like, have you ever noticed if your body's, or maybe you haven't noticed, if your body's in pain and then all of a sudden you only notice when your body's screaming at you? That can actually be like because of a lack of connection to your physical body and a lack of connection to the earth element as well. So just a few little areas that like it may surface. Also feeling really stagnant can be like an excess of earth element, like feeling like super lazy, sluggish, like you can't make moves, or yeah, being too flighty, constantly in movement, constantly zooming around, like is also too little earth element. So it may show up slightly different for each person, but this is just to like bring into remembrance like who we are, to connect back to the earth. So when we have a balanced earth element within our body and being, and when we're connected to the earth, we can feel grounded, centered. It's like calm, cool, and collected. You'll feel nourished and supported. And some of the easiest ways, of course, to connect to the earth element is to literally just go outside and connect to the beauty, connect to the nature, connect to all that is. And simply by taking a few deep breaths, you can reconnect back to the earth element. There's also a ton of different ways you can connect to the earth element as well. We're only going to dive into the basics during today's session, but you can do earth grounding meditation practices, visualizations. There's so many things you can do to connect back to earth. So if you're feeling ungrounded or perhaps stale or sluggish, lazy, unsafe within the body, or perhaps you just don't have a really good like connection with your physical body, it's a sign for you to connect back to the earth element. All right, let's cruise into water. So water is one of my personal favorites, and we're not really going to talk about astrology during today's session, but sometimes your astrology makeup can show you what you have a lot of placements in or are missing other placements in. So let's dive into water. So water is all about our fluidity, our ability to move with ease, to flow with life, and to be connected to our emotional body as well. So water is deeply connected to our emotions and feeling safe to express them, and also feeling safe to feel our emotional body. So when we are dysregulated with the water element, this can look like an excess of emotions, or it also can look like completely being out of touch with your emotions. It also can show up as stagnancy as well, in the sense of like if you're unable to literally flow with life or ebb and flow with life's changes. So the water element is incredibly powerful to truly be in touch with our emotional body, be in touch with how our emotions are guiding us. And unfortunately, today in the modern world, a lot of our emotions are, I don't say like minimized, but like we're just not really taught to connect to our emotions, our emotional body, and using our emotions as teachers. What is it telling you? And being able to connect into that. So, some fabulous ways to connect into and bring balance into your emotional body, your emotional health, also support your ability to flow with life, is to connect to the water element. So, this can be taking intentional baths or showers, it can be doing visualization practices, meditations. There's so many different things we can do to connect to the water element. But ultimately, if you ever feel like you need support emotionally, look to the water element. So let's cruise on to fire. So completely opposite to water, right? So fire, when we are needing to connect to the fire element, is usually when we have an imbalance, or whether it's an excess or deficient. So for example, if we are feeling really uninspired or unmotivated or just like feeling exhausted, those are signs that we need to work with the fire element, because when we have a well balanced fire element within our body and system, we will feel energized, we will feel empowered, we will feel motivated, we'll have so much creativity. So if you're looking for those things, it could be your sign to work with the fire element. And of course, there's excesses, deficiencies with each element, depending on what's going on with you in that moment in time. But an excess can look like anger, right? Like too much fire energy, not being very nice, meanness. It also can look like being hot-headed. Deficient can look like, yeah, just being uninspired and uncreative, exhausted, not connected to your own personal power. So likewise for the fire element, doing visualizations, connecting with candles, doing a candle visualization, meditations. There's so many different things we can do to connect to the fire element through ritual as well. But the first thing is like bring awareness. Are you looking to be more creative? Are you looking to connect into your personal power? Are you looking to connect into your confidence? All of that is connected into the fire element. Last but not least, we'll talk about the air element. So air is sort of, I don't want to say the last of the elements, but it is in a way, because all the other elements need to be balanced for us to fully tap into the potential and balance of the air element. So the air element is deeply connected to our mental body, our mind, our thoughts, and bringing balance to our mental health. So if you're struggling with your mental health, it's 100% your sign to connect to the air element. But in order to connect to the air element, which is typically around the head space, we're needing to bring balance into all the other areas of our life, but of the other elements. So earth is deeply connected to the root chakra, so being connected to our physical body first, the earth element, then connecting to the water element, which is connected to our sacral chakra, being able to feel and express our emotions, feeling safe to express our emotions as well. And then fire, our personal power, connected to the solar plexus and our ability to feel confident and energized and creative. And then we have, last but not least, of course, the air, which is connected to our mental body. This can be the third eye or crown chakra. And it's all about bringing balance into our mental health. So if you struggle with anxiety, excessive thinking, too many thoughts, or perhaps dullness and or depression, and truly if you're struggling with any mental health issues, it's a sign to bring balance into the air element. But sort of in order to bring balance to the air element, you need to work on the other three elements first. Once those are in harmony, then it'll be much easier to bring balance into the air. It's a little bit harder and trickier to bring balance into the air element when the other elements are dysregulated, because you need like a stable and sturdy foundation in order for you to bring balance to the air element, to your mental body, your mental health, your mental space. So and of course, a few ways we can do this is working with incense, Palo Santo sage, ethically sourced, to clear and cleanse literally your head space, your body and being. You can also work with breath work. So breathing can be really, really powerful to clear the mind, and journaling exercises, also guided meditations. There's so many things we can do to bring balance into each element. And I always say, like, go with the practices that you feel guided towards, because that is what your soul is calling you to do and what you should lean towards. So at the end of the day, if you're struggling with any area of your life, your key to bringing balance back in should be through the elements and connecting into, okay, which might be deficient, which could be excessive, which element needs to be brought more into balance, and that's going to be your key to harmony and success. Whether it's bringing balance to your mental, emotional, physical body, health and wellness, whatever it is, look to the elements. I hope this was helpful, and make sure to like, subscribe, and comment below. I'm also hosting an incredible masterclass on how to connect with the elements and also the directions, north, east, south, and west, if you're really wanting to gain more tools, more wisdom, and gain more clarity as well on how to bring balance into the elements, into your life. I would love to see you there. It's part of my expansion program community. I'll drop a link below if you would like to join. It's going to be an incredible session, and even if you can't attend live, the recording is absolutely going to be chef's kiss. I hope that you enjoyed today's session, and until next time.